last week at the counter, I watched a guy do the same thing I've done. He picked the safe buy, nodded like he solved the problem, and 3 months later, he came back trying to trade it like it never happened. Regret doesn't show up on day one. It shows up when the trigger feels worse at round 700 than it did at round 70, when the mags act funny, when the finish looks tired, and now you're making excuses instead of shooting. This list is the opposite of that. No hype picks. No hot right now. These are guns that keep earning their spot after the honeymoon. Carry days, range days, ugly ammo, sweaty hands, rushed reloads, real use. And I'm not hiding the flaws. Everyone has a flaw. And one of them pissed me off for months before it proved me wrong. One of these replaced a legend I swore I kept forever. And it sits at number 1. Last week I was in the truck mid-errands and I cracked the center console looking for a pen. And there it was, my Beretta 92 FS, buried under receipts, dust, and whatever else lives in there. And I already hear the noise. Too big, too heavy, old school. Fine, I don't fight that. I just noticed something else. I've had guns choke in this exact setup before, so I'm waiting for it. Dirty console, Texas heat, lint. Grit, hands not clean, rushed loading, random ammo. That combo doesn't care what the brochure says. I stopped at a dusty range bay on the way back. No cleaning kit, no wipe down, no little ritual. I loaded mags that had been bouncing around, racked it, and that tiny voice went, "Here we go." Nothing. It runs like it's insulted, I even doubted it. Cycles clean, tracks flat, follow-ups stay easy. And that's the real value of this gun. It feels boring in the exact way you start trusting. The weight shows up, the size shows up, and the controls, yeah, some people fight them, but this thing keeps showing up even when I don't. One day it's supposed to let me down. I'm still waiting. The other day I was in an Austin area shop, standing at the counter, and I heard it again. That line people say, like it's a cheat code, just get a Glock 19. And my first reaction is always the same. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want the default answer. I want something with personality, something different. Then real life shows up and humbles that whole attitude. Because regret doesn't care what's interesting. Regret shows up when you need mags today, a holster today, a sight swap, a plate, a spring, a spare mag that actually feeds. And your cool pick turns into a scavenger hunt with shipping fees. I watched a dude at the counter solve someone's entire setup in 5 minutes. Not because he's a genius, because it's a 19. Mags stacked, holsters hanging, parts everywhere, no special order speech, no waiting game, and yeah, I say the flaw out loud. The trigger never feels nice, and the whole Glock vibe can feel soulless. But that's the trade. I don't grab it because I'm a fanboy. I grab it because it removes friction from life. And the next gun, that one isn't about infrastructure at all. It's about a moment on the line that changes what you trust. I walked into one of those bright indoor spots where the lanes stay packed and everybody hears everybody. Targets sliding, steel cases clacking, somebody 2 benches down talking like he owns the building. I'm not there to prove anything. I'm there to shoot and leave. Then I catch it, that little sideways energy when I pull out the Canik TP9 Elite SC. Not a direct shot. Just that smirk people do when they think they already know what you're holding. And I hate that my brain even cares. So I don't say anything. I just load up and start shooting. First string goes out and the air changes. Not because I get lucky, because the hits stack faster than they're supposed to. That quiet budget gun vibe dies on the paper and nobody wants to admit it. I set the pistol down, reload, run it again. Same result. Now, I'm not pretending it's perfect. It's chunkier than people assume. On body, it feels like a compromise some days. But standing there watching the target, I get that stupid feeling I don't like. I don't expect to like it this much, and that still bugs me a little. That was the Ruger Max 9 day. Not a range day. Not a let's test a pistol day. Just real errands in light clothes, in and out of the truck, bending, reaching, sitting weird, standing in line too long. The kind of day where carry either disappears or it turns into a constant little fight. And I'm gonna be honest, small pistols usually charge you later. They feel smart for 10 minutes, then 2 hours in, you're adjusting, you're annoyed, and you start doing that quiet math like, am I about to stop carrying this thing? That's what I expected. I kept waiting for the pinch, the hot spot, yep, there it is. The little tax that shows up with most compact carry guns. It didn't. Midday, it hit me in the most boring way possible. I forgot it was even there. No constant checks, no shifting it around, no irritation-making decisions for me. It still wasn't exciting, no dopamine, just practical in a way that felt dull. But dull started feeling like relief when I actually lived with it. And the next gun, that one didn't disappear on me at all. That one showed up loud, and it forced a decision I didn't want to make. It was evening after a long-range session, hands cooked, ears still ringing, gear half-zipped while me and my friend did that slow walk toward the parking lot. I pulled the Walther PDP Compact back out like I was double-checking myself, because that's when the truth hits. Not on the first magazine when you're fresh. It hits when you're tired, when your grip gets lazy, when your patience gets short, when you start blaming the gun because it's easier than blaming your hands. My friend glanced at it and said, "Stop picking guns you have to convince yourself to like." That one stung, because the PDP Compact didn't need a speech. It didn't need excuses. It didn't need me doing little workarounds to make it behave. It just sat in my hand like it wanted to run clean even when I didn't. I'll say the flaw out loud. After hours, it can feel a little bitey. That snap shows up when your hands start quitting. But walking to the truck, it hit me harder than the groups did. I didn't realize how much I'd been working around other guns until this one didn't ask me to. And the next gun, that one doesn't leave much room to argue. It just makes you sit there like, oh, so that's what I've been missing. A few days ago, I was on the line, already a little cooked, and I made a mistake I hate admitting. I got lazy on the grip and sent a string faster than I earned. That's usually where a gun exposes you. You start chasing the sights, you start fixing it mid-string, and the whole thing turns into noise. The VP9 didn't do that. It stayed weirdly calm. Not perfect, calm. The dot/slash sights came back where my brain expected them, even though my hands weren't doing their best work. And that's what messed with me, because it felt like I didn't deserve those hits. So I did it again on purpose. Same setup, same fatigue, same little bad habit, same result. That's the part that gets under your skin. A lot of guns feel good when you're fresh and focused. The HK VP9 felt good when I wasn't. Like it quietly covered my sloppiness without turning into a jammy, moody problem child. Now I'll say the flaw. It's not the smallest carry option, and it's not the cheapest way to solve this problem. That's real. But I left that night thinking, why did that feel that easy? And why do I trust it more because of it? And the next one, that gun doesn't feel easy. It feels inevitable. This was the one that made me stop shopping. The Springfield Echelon 4.0 Psi. And I hated that. Because anything that feels like the new answer usually turns into a problem later. I've seen it. I've done it. I've talked myself into it. So I didn't trust it at first. Not even a little. I ran it on a normal day. Not a let's impress the camera day. Just shooting, reloading, moving, getting tired, getting sloppy. And the weird part wasn't the groups. The weird part was what didn't happen. No little fights. No tiny corrections every string. No mental arguing. No, okay, next mag I'll do it right. It just kept landing where my hands expected it to land, even when my hands weren't perfect. That's when it hit me. I wasn't working around it. I was just shooting. Now I'll say the ugly part fast. The Echelon 4.0C still carried that new platform smell. I didn't have that deep, everywhere support I trust on the old standards. That doubt stayed in the back of my head. But the more I tried to poke holes in it, the less it gave me. And I kept waiting for the catch to show up later. It didn't show up, and that's when I knew I was done chasing it. Here's the test I use. If you stop defending a gun online, and you just keep grabbing it without thinking, that's a regret-proof gun. That's why I kept the flaws in this video. Heavy, snappy, weird controls, a couple little annoyances that never fully go away. The difference is, The gun still shows up when it matters, and it keeps doing the same job the same way every time. And that's the payout on number 1. It solves a carry problem most people ignore until it smacks them in the face. Once you feel it, you don't unfeel it. Now, drop 2 comments: the gun you sold and still regret, and the one you refuse to sell, period. I'm Steve. And yeah, one pick in this list always starts a fight.